Hold on. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. Let's not waste any time because we are going into Say Hey Plays 22. Beautiful, lovely. We are in Say Hey Plays 22. My name is Jose Bouquett, as you guys all know. We are on a short card today. Short little card on this little. I would say there's two games left. I should say. I'm sorry, and there was a bunch of morning games. I'll run through my picks from earlier today to see how we're going. I've got one play left on the day, and maybe I'll add another one. My guest for today, Bo Bano, he'll be here in just a second, and it'll be a fantastic time. But let's recap how the day went yesterday, how the day went today, and how the season is going so far. And what's up to everyone joining me? As always, appreciate you guys. Wine Time Sport. He's at MDMGM in Vegas. What's the best bet on the card so far? We'll talk about it here in a minute, but it looks like the Cubs and I forgot who they're playing already. Who we were playing today? Cubs and Braves. There we go. Cubs and Braves under is what I think we're leading to. But I'll tell you guys right now, Anthony Houston Ryan line fucked me up. Yes, that was one of my plays and way to transition to it, Andrew. Had Houston Astros run line minus a half, home run in the ninth inning, sinks us. We lose that. It was 3-2 game. Lose that. Lose the Houston first five minus a half, too. Martin Perez throwing a perfect game through the first 5 innings. And we lose 0-0. Absolutely brutal there. But it's not all bad. We cash a first five under in the Chicago White Sox Royals game. And right now we also have the Red Sox money line. And it is a 1-0 ball game in the 8th inning. I had the first five under. I bet it. And then I cashed it out earlier this morning because I was like, I don't know how it's going to go. And it's been 1-0 the whole game. So shame on me for not pulling the trigger there, but still alive with the Red Sox money line if they can figure some shit out. But Alek Manoah is being the bully that he looks like. So that was today. Yesterday I went 5-5, minuscule minus down some juice, and on the season we are 85 and 67 on the year, as you can see on the screen, plus 23.81 units. I think I need to double check and see if that is including the Astros loss there with the run line, but I'm pretty sure it is. So we will we'll double check that later, and we'll talk about all those picks and such as we come along through the show. Obviously, there's only two games on the card to talk about today, so it'll be a short show, a nice little maybe 20-30 minutes here with Bo Bano, and then we'll get right into the NFL draft coverage, the nightcap presented by the Pub Hub tonight. I'll be hosting for the first 15 picks, basically 10-15 picks around there, as I am a Jets fan. That will shock a lot of people to hear I'm a Jets fan, and this is the most important night of the year for Jets fans every year. This is my Super Bowl. And it's the most exciting time of the year. So I think it's fun. I'll be there. And it will start at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, right here on the Pub Hub. And after this show, this link will just take you straight to the pub, the nightcap, I should say. So it'll be good. And by the way, the Red Sox go down in the 8th. So going to the bottom half of the 8th, Blue Jays still lead 1-0. I also was going to keep my ad out for some live bets for you guys as well. Right now, the Red Sox are plus 700. The Guardians are plus 425. It's bottom five on that game, 3-1 Guardians. Plus 2.5 or then minus 150. So very interesting. Well, let's start breaking down these games. And when Bobano jumps in, he will give us his perspective. We will talk first Chicago Cubs versus the Atlanta Braves here. Drew Smyly and Kyle Wright on the bump here. Two pitchers that have shown to be pretty great so far to start this year. We all know my friend, my father, Jimmy the Bags affinity with Drew Smyly here, and it's turned out to be an affinity that has turned to be profitable. 5 innings pitched versus Pittsburgh, 6 hits, 4 on run off of 2 home runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk was his worst start of the year at home. 2 road starts, though, to start off his year, 4 2/3, no earned runs, 4 hits at Colorado, and 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs at Pittsburgh. So second time seeing Pittsburgh was a little dicey there, but at Wrigley maybe be his thing. And honestly, guys, this was my play on the card here. I took the first 5 under 4.5 here, minus 120, a little juicy for us. You guys know that I don't like taking a lot of minus 120s, but it's been on my card today. And right now on Bovada, you can take the under 4.5 at minus 115. So that's a good bet right there. I like it. Kyle Wright has been elite this year to start off the year, and it seems like the Braves have churned out another one of their fantastic starting pitchers. This is what they do, it seems like. They just go out there, they make starting pitchers out of nothing, and this is what they do. They did Max Fried, they've done it with like Greg Max and those guys. So it's shocking to see if you weren't a Kyle Wright believer, but his stuff has been electric this year, and you just have to tip your hat. I kind of thought he was not going to be great this year, but he has been everything they've wanted and more. He's 2-0 this year, a 106 ERA versus the Miami Marlins last time out, 6 innings, 4 hits, 11 Ks, 1 walk, no earned runs, domination. The start before that at the San Diego Padres, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 run, 9 Ks, and he started off his year versus the shitty Reds, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 6 Ks, a walk, and no earned runs. The worry here of taking the first 5 under, if you are going to be, I will play devil's advocate with myself here. Right now, the Cubs against righties are third in WRC plus with 128. That is very high, 28% above average. And the Atlanta Braves are 10th versus lefties, 118 weighted runs created plus. So both of these offenses do seemingly hit each side. But I do believe in both of these pitchers, and I think this will be a true test for both of these guys here. I think it'll be a fun game to watch if you are a neutral. This might be a slower game. This might be something that Noli knows and I might just enjoy. Shout out to Noli. Drew Smyly against these Atlanta Braves in 26 plate appearances. He's got a 217 average against. His FIP is extremely high at a 9.53. Marcell Ozuna 7 for 2, or sorry, I should say 2 for 7 against him. That's really the only one. Adam Duvall 1 for 6. Those are the 2 guys that have seen him a bit. Everyone else has been pretty low. And on the other side for Kyle Wright, he only has 11 plate appearances. Everyone on the Wilson Contreras, Ian Happ, Vijad, and Jason Hayward all hitting 1 for 2 against him. But I think this is a little different pitcher. So I think that I'll trust Kyle Wright and Drew Smyly back there. Speaking of back there, I think our special guest is ready back there. The one and only, the legend, the guy that joins me every Thursday. It's going to be a fun time talking to him about this short card. Mr. Ian Cameron Bobano, how are you doing, my man?
Yeah, I mean, only 2 games. They didn't really load up the slate for us on this Thursday night. Everything was during the day pretty much. A huge slate of afternoon baseball, which I'll never complain about, but you just do wish when I'm on here we'd have a few more games. But we got a couple, and actually I have a play on each of the 2 games. So
beautiful.
It's not the worst thing.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it's unfortunate timing, I guess, or scheduling with the baseball season. But they don't want to compete with the NFL draft, I guess, which makes sense. Makes sense, I guess. So, Bobano, I already waxed poetically about both of these starting pitchers. I think this is going to be a first 5 under spot for me. Obviously, Ronald Acuna coming back. I have not mentioned his name in this breakdown yet. This is his first game back. And I forgot to mention that I wanted to bet Ronald Acuna props here. I need to double check on Bovada because right now they weren't offering a total base prop for him. I wanted to take the over 1.5 bases. On Pinnacle, I saw it at minus 102. His home run props at plus 330. That always interests me as well. But he's ready and hungry to go, and I want to bet on Acuna today. So I'll see if I make that official if we get to the window there. But Bobano, I want to hear your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I am liking Atlanta first 5 -0.5 in this one. Kyle Wright's a bet on pitcher all the way for me, at least. I like what I've seen from him so far this year. 1.06 ERA, 0.76 WHIP. There's absolutely not really anything to complain about through his first 3 starts of the year. Braves 3-0 in Wright's 3 trips to the mound. Winning all of those games, 2 walks to 26 strikeouts. I don't think he can do much better than that. Right now, he's getting an incredible amount of swings and misses. I'm still not exactly a big Drew Smyly fan. And look, this is a guy that's actually spent time here with Atlanta, so should be some familiarity. Braves are doing a decent job against lefties this year, 247, better batting average as a team against lefties than righties, better runs per game versus southpaws as well. For the Atlanta Braves. So I think when you look at this matchup, they can do enough damage against Smyly. I don't see the Cubs really hitting all that much against Kyle Wright. This is a team that is, other than that ridiculous game against Pittsburgh where they put a 21 spot 3 touchdowns on the board. It's an anomaly because you look at everything else they've done. They've scored just 6 runs in the other 3 games combined, surrounding that 21-0 destruction over Pittsburgh. So I don't trust the Cubs lineup against right. I think you're going to see a lot of swings and misses from them. And on the flip side, the Braves do enough against Drew Smiley, in my opinion. So I like them in the first 5. We'll lay the half a run. I got it at minus 130 earlier today. So we'll go with that.
Yeah, I like that look. I think the Braves should do damage off of Smiley. They should get at least a run. I think 4.5 was pretty high. Obviously, wouldn't want to bet
It's up to minus 140, by the way, current number, current
that,
price on that, minus a half. So it has gone up, but I still like it at minus 140.
I mean, that makes you feel better about it too. I feel better about my half or my 4.5. The number was 8.5 earlier this morning. It's gone down to an 8, so that does make me feel better. It seems like everything's pointing towards an under with these two pitchers. Drew Smiley pitching well so far. I agree with you, Bobano. I'm not a Drew Smiley guy, but he's gone out there and he showed he's pitching well so far. So I'm gonna ride this train and see. Or I should say, I'm not riding the train. I'm jumping on the train for the first time. I was fading him a while ago, and I'm gonna jump on the train, see if I can get an under with him, and until he gets hurt or something goes wrong with them, then I will see how that goes. I mean, interesting to watch this game for sure. By the way, shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us as always. I appreciate it. Ouroboros grabbed the 4.5 at minus 105. MDR says, "What's up? What's up, my man?" Res Mob, appreciate you. Mr. Dylan, I appreciate you, my man. Real Deal Prime. I appreciate it. Wine Time Sports, and he's got 200 on the under. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for trusting me. Let's get this cash. I hope it cashes for you. I'll be watching that game, thinking about you the whole time. C Bling, DJ Woodworker, Chief, all you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to get into our last game here, which feels weird to say after just one game. But, Say Hey Plays 22. Eventful, but it was as uneventful as my 22nd birthday. So I appreciate you for jumping on with me for this short card, Bobano, even though it is such a shorty.
It's a good thing I at least have some decent opinions on the card. Could you imagine if we had these 2 games and I didn't like either one? That would really be tough. That would really be rough.
Yeah, I'm glad that you like something on this game because I do not. I'm off this game entirely so far. I could be talked into something. Our friend Dabby Cab is on Cardinals first 5, and I think he's going to go ahead and add Cardinals run line as well. Humberto Castellanos and the Diamondbacks are traveling to St. Louis. Dakota Hudson, a pitcher that I like, honestly. I think he's a good pitcher. 6 2/3, 2 hits, 4 Ks, 4 walks. A little ugly at Cincinnati last time out. At Milwaukee before that, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 Ks, 2 walks, and to start off his season at the Kansas City Royals, or I should say hosting the Kansas City Royals, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs off 2 home runs, so that makes me feel a little better. 4 Ks for Dakota. Obviously, his last start was promising. The walks were a little high, but I think I would trust and lean towards him this way. This would honestly be another underling because Humberto Castellanos has been pretty great so far for him as well. 2 starts against the Mets, who we all know smash right-handed pitchers, and he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs one time. And then to start off at the Mets, 4 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 1 K. So I'm pretty impressed with Humberto. I don't know how long this will last, obviously, but I would definitely lean towards Cardinals first 5 and lean towards an under here as well, but got nothing on this game. And just to wrap this on a bow here, Cardinals 18th versus right-handed pitching, 83 weighted runs created plus, and the Diamondbacks, I should say, obviously lowly 24th versus right-handed pitching at an 81. So nothing for me in this game, Bobano, honestly. I'm just glad I got that first play out of there. What about you, Bobano?
Yeah, this is actually over 7.5 for me. And you would think with Arizona, well, how can you do that? This team just cannot hit a lick. Well, last I would say 6 games, there's been some pulse from this lineup a little bit. They went back-to-back games against the Mets and put up 5 in each of those 2 games. Scuffled the last 2, but against the Dodgers, 5-3 win a couple nights ago, and then 3-1. Pulling it out against the Dodgers in the game yesterday. I think if you like this game from a side perspective, you can't necessarily love this for Arizona, right? They're coming off 2 massive wins against the Dodgers, unexpected. Everyone thought the Dodgers would certainly win that series, not lose 2 or 3. the way they did. And now Arizona's traveling after that big series. And now taking on this Cardinals team. It definitely feels like it's a good spot for the Cardinals, not so good for Arizona. I'm not a big Castellanos guy. Humberto Castellanos is someone that I bet against more often than not last year. And you look, so far he's decent with the 3 ERA. I get that. But you're going on the road now facing the Cardinals, who, look, they had been struggling offensively. I think they're a better lineup than they showed in the 2 games against the Mets. They only scored 2 runs in the first 2, and then they got held in check by Cincinnati in a 4-1 loss in the finale of that series over the weekend. But sometimes when those teams that are struggling offensively have that breakout game, that bust-out game, and they sure did yesterday against Carrasco, sometimes that can carry over. 10 runs for the Cardinals yesterday. I think they could do enough damage against Arizona and Castellanos, and a bullpen that for the Diamondbacks, it's going to be mediocre at best all year. Dakota Hudson's one of those pitchers, too, for St. Louis in this game. We're waiting to see him really iron out the kinks. He had really 2 terrible starts to begin the year. Much better, to be honest, last time against Cincinnati, 5-0 victory. But at the same point in time, how much stock do you put in that? The Reds are a mess right now. The lineup hasn't been hitting. The pitching really hasn't been much better. Tyler Mahle is supposed to be their ace, and he's pitched anything but one this year so far. So it's just been disastrous for Cincinnati. I don't want to get too caught up in let's give Dakota Hudson a whole lot of accolades and say he's turned the ship around because he shut out the Reds. I'm not ready to do that just yet. And look, Arizona's starting to hit a little bit. Like I said, the total's only 7.5. It's, I think, doable when you look at it. And the fact that the Diamondbacks have picked up their offense a little bit, it's more than anything to me as well. These 2 starters, I have more lack of faith in them than faith in them at this point in time. So for me, I'm going to take a shot here over 7.5. You wouldn't think, you'd want to back Arizona overs, and maybe this is 3-1, 4-1. It's got that potential, but I don't trust these starters. The total's only 7.5. It's good enough for me to look over the total.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that, Bobana. Yeah, that's why I'm off that game. It's just, too many conflicting factors. So I'm glad that I didn't make a bet on it. By the way, the Blue Jays are looking to wrap a bow on the Red Sox on a 1-0 win here.
Yep.
And the umpire wants to go home, essentially. That was a very tough strike 2 call on Rafael.
Well, he had a bad day. Both sides, we should point out. But yeah, he's had a really bad day, this guy.
Had a very tough day behind the plate. I'm not enjoying it. I honestly, Bobano, I'm not a big Jordan Romano guy. I've always been pretty down on him, and now he seemingly turned into one of your ace bullpen guys. But I'm still.
He's had some rocky outings lately. Like last year, he was phenomenal. We know that. This year, he started out just as good, but last couple outings, he finally blew one last week. There's a couple others he almost gave up, and he hung on for dear life. So. It hasn't been smooth sailing for Jordan Romano here, these last few save situations he's had. And sure enough, just as I say that, base hit Red Sox, tying run on board with 1 out.
Come on. I was really looking at the Red Sox live throughout this show, and I did not want to make it official. It got up to plus 700 at one point. I don't want to make it official, but it's too much of the fan in me wanting to bet them. So I'm not going to make it official, but boy, do I want them to come back in this game because I've already got them money line plus 117. So let's see how that happens. Bobano, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. It was a short show.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yep, 2 games. That's it.
2 games. That's it. I do have
line out for Boston. Liner, he scorched the ball, but right at Lourdes Gurriel for the 2nd out. So down to their final out.
That sounds like that sounds about right. Basically what I was going to say there. So let's recap our picks here, Bobano. But I do have 2 questions for you before we do recap our picks. One question is right up your alley, and another question that might not be. First of all, Bobana, word on the street is, oh yeah, he did scorch that ball. That is sad. Word on the street is that you like the hockey, and I've made a significant hockey play today, and it's on the Ottawa Senators. And I took them team total over 2.5 at a fucking expensive ass minus 160. So I would really appreciate them hitting, Bobman. And I just wanted to ask you about it before that game. Puck drop here is at 6, I believe, my time. So
yeah, I like that actually. I think Ottawa's very live in that game, even though Florida's still playing for the President's Trophy. But there's been a whole ton of line movement toward Ottawa as well. There's people that agree with me. They could be live home underdogs tonight in this game. And then you look at the situation. I mean, the Panthers are basically taking a powder here tonight. I mean, Bobrovsky's out, Spencer Knight's in net, but no Alex Barkov, no Gustav Forsling, no Claude Giroux, no Radko Gudas, no Jonathan Huberdeau, no Mackenzie Weegar tonight, no Anton Lundell tonight. I mean, Florida, they basically have just shown right now that they're not interested in the President's Trophy. They want to get everybody rested, just get ready for the playoffs. If they get the President's Trophy, great. If not, they'll live, they'll survive. It's not a big deal. And Ottawa's playing their final home game, and there's a pattern in the NHL sometimes late in the year where even these non-playoff teams, they want to finish the season strong. And they want to get a win on their final home game of the year. So I think we have I agree with you. I think Ottawa team total over is a good look. I think money line's a good look. I think they're a live home dog here.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Fantastic. I like that. My other question is, Bobano, NFL draft tonight.
Yes.
That's at 8:00 Eastern. The nightcap, like we mentioned off at the beginning of the show, that is going to be the draft show. By the way, that's a fucking low strike three. That's fucking brutal. That is very annoying. The Jays win 1-0. I'm
Yep.
going to turn that off now just to not get annoyed. However, I'm going to say this, Bobano, the NFL draft, like I said, was on tonight. Do you have any NFL draft plays you're putting out there? Anything you're looking at the NFL draft? And like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Pub Sports Radio is going to be the nightcap. I'm going to be hosting for the first 15 picks with Boston Nick. Dabby Cab will be in there as well as like a rotating cast of people throughout the night. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. But Bano, first of all, I don't know if you support an NFL team because you've got the CFL obviously, and you've got Tiggy the Tie Cat back there, whatever his name is. So I know you're obviously into the CFL, but do you have any NFL props or anything you're playing today just for the people at home keeping score?
Stripes. That's the name of the mascot for the Ticats. Stripes. It used to be TC, but as in Tiger Cat. But no, they went with Stripes. It's been Stripes, the name of the mascot for the last 10 years or so. But yeah, I mean, NFL draft. I've only got a couple props. I mean, I don't dive into it as much as some people do. I'm not even going to be watching the draft. I'll be watching NBA playoffs, NHL, real sports. Rather than the draft. But I'll keep an eye on it. I'll obviously follow who's getting who. I am interested who's going to get who and who's going to make their team better in that. But, it's just hard to convince me, hey, let's watch these guys progress their way out to, put their jersey on, have that fake ass hug with Roger Goodell, which I'm sure we're going to see that back again this year. I'm sick of seeing that. The fake love between the Goodell and the player when he gets drafted. But no, nevertheless, I'm on Stingley, the cornerback out of LSU, under his draft position. I think he's going to be taken much earlier than was expected. Under 7.5 is the position number that I think I saw last time. I think he still goes under that. I think he's top 7 in this draft. I took Aiden Hutchinson to be drafted second overall at minus 130 because I think that's where he's going. From all indications, I thought that was a pretty good pick. And look, if he falls in their lap to a Detroit, it's perfect. They need someone like that can rush the quarterback. They not need to fix that defense. It's a situation where they've got to absolutely improve there. So it makes perfect sense. That's really about it. I mean, I liked over wide receivers in the first round too, but man, that number's just skyrocketed up. It started off at 5.5. It went to 6.5. I'm even seeing a couple books have it 7.5. So you're really losing a lot of the value there. Maybe you go over 15.5 defensive players in the first round. Usually you think quarterbacks, but the quarterback class is weaker this year. The receivers are obviously going to be taken quite a bit in the first round, but running backs aren't going to be going very much at all. There may not even be a running back drafted in the first round. A lot of O-linemen, that's for sure, and a lot of receivers are going to be drafted in the first round. But having said all that, I still think you might get over 15.5 defensive draft picks in the first round. So that's something I'd look at as well. Other than that, that's about it.
Well, I'll tell you, apparently I'm in a new group chat now. We're talking sports in there. And as you know, Bobano, I am a Jets fan. That's why I'm wearing my Jets jersey right now. You can see the lovely green blending in. It looks nice. It looks nice for the background. But I've heard a lot of scuttlebutt now that Derek Stingley to the Jets at 3, and I would really appreciate if they drafted Sauce, but it does seem like all signs are pointing that way. I will say that, and I hope I hope that is wrong, but I think Derek Stingley will go high just because you said that now, Bobano. And I absolutely for sure hope that Hutchinson goes to Detroit. It would only make just simpatico. Just it makes so much sense.
Yes.
It makes so much sense. All right, so let's recap our picks, Bobano, and let's get out of here. I don't even need to check it. I'm pretty sure it's minus 125. Actually, it's minus 115 now. Minus 120 is what I got it. I got the first 5 under 4.5 in the Atlanta Braves Chicago Cubs game. Believe in Drew Smiley and Kyle Wright. Get it done. Hoping those boys go out there and pitch again. Hoping that Jimmy the Bag guy, Drew Smiley, goes out there and dominates. Need Kyle Wright to show his stuff tonight again and keep being the guy that he seemingly is today this year. So going under 4.5 here in the first 5, minus 115. I bet it at minus 120. Bobano, your 2 plays for this card?
We've got Atlanta minus a half, minus 140 current price, first 5 innings, and also Arizona St. Louis over 7.5 even money.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys to everyone for watching. Appreciate it. Spud, Real Deal, MDR, all you guys, Nasty Nate. Shout out to you, my guy, DJ and Woodworker. Yes, DJ and Woodworker, by the way, another good comment here. On to day 23. We're on to day 23. It's going to be a fun show, a packed Friday card. I've already taking a peek at it because of how sparse this card was. And every game tomorrow is going to be a fun time. Oh, lovely. I'm getting a call from Boston Nick, too, on my phone. That's lovely. So shout out to Boston Nick as
Boston
well.
Nick.
Me. Yeah, so he's calling me to talk about, like I said, the nightcap. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go watch that right after this, guys.
I'll be on some of those shows over the summer, when it's a nice, relaxing summer night and there's, just some baseball going on, just a nice, relaxing. That's the time you'll see me showing up there.
Yes, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be my first appearance on it, and I cannot wait for it. Thanks, everyone, guys. Don't forget to say hey when you guys see us on social media at Jose Bouquett, at Bobano, for Ian Cameron over there. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you guys back here again tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, for more baseball plays. Thanks, guys.